Yeah, I like this class. Obviously, we have to see Evan Neal at his pro day, what he does and work out. Ekwonu, you either like Ekwonu or you like Neal. And that's going to be fascinating to see what Jacksonville decides. If you go back and look at Doug Peterson, the head coach of the Jaguars, what his history is with offensive linemen, he had a lot of guys that could move fast. You know, he had guys that ran sub 5-second 40s, and he had the best offensive line with the Eagles the year that they won the Super Bowl, probably in the league that year. So I tend to lean towards Ekwonu because he's more explosive and has more of those athletic traits. But I'll be interested to see what Neal does from an athletic standpoint. He's obviously a lot bigger too. I mean, you're talking about 6'4", 310 for Ekwonu, and with Neal, you're getting a much bigger, larger human being. So that's going to be a fascinating debate, and one that, you know, unless word leaks out of Jacksonville, it's kind of anyone's guess which way they're going to go with that number 1 overall pick.
Well, Todd, I got to tell you, I know that Evan Neal is a very, very large human, but he carries it like a power forward in a basketball team. He is lean as all get. It looks, honestly, you could have told me he was 280 pounds, not 337. I would have believed it, and yet he pancakes guys left and right.
You know, the beauty of these two guys, too, is if you talk to Nick Saban and you ask him about his big left tackle and the right tackle from 2 years ago and guard from 3 years ago, the first thing he's going to say is not that he's 6'7", he was around 340 pounds, I think, at the combine. But he's going to talk about how smart he is and how mature he is. And you sit down and you meet with Neal in meetings, with the coaches' meetings and the player meetings before a game, and he comes in and he's so dialed in. He's so intelligent. Football intelligence is outstanding for an offensive tackle. Then Ike Ekwonu, don't forget, he turned down 2 Ivy League scholarships to go play at NC State. And that obviously speaks to his intelligence and what he's able to do, and you see that on the field. So both either of these guys, if you just throw out the physical tools, you're getting a smart, mature individual that's coming into your locker room. And I think both are ready to start at a very high level in the NFL day one.
I've got March 7th on my
Let me say
count.
one thing, Field, about
Go ahead,
Abraham Lucas. Abraham Lucas, and the right tackle out of Washington State. If the Giants don't take an offensive lineman early, guys, he's a right tackle in the second round. The Giants have that early too. Teams are looking for a pure right tackle, an experienced guy, battle-tested and pass pro at Washington State. Abraham Lucas, a plug-and-play guy. I mean, with the ability to keep that frame between the defensive end and the quarterback on a regular basis, get enough movement in the run game, and his experience, and a guy, like I said, if you're looking for a rookie who can come right in and perform based on the experience there with the Cougars, then what he showed, obviously, at the combine with the numbers, you can't overlook a guy like that and say, well, we're going to push him. I had heard 3rd, 4th round for him going in. I got to believe he's a second. And Matt Willetsko from North Dakota, liked his tape, liked his potential. He's got the length as a day 3 guy. We'll be talking about Todd on Saturday. What's that, April 30th. Matt Willetsko is a kid I think shows some promise and shows some intriguing capabilities.
Feels like a good draft.
Kiper, going back to Lucas, real quick. 6'6", 315 pounds. He ran a 4.92 40-yard dash. So anyone running a sub 5 second, just for people who don't know, anything under 5 seconds for an offensive lineman, especially that size, 6'6", 315, is outstanding. And then you have the fastest short shuttle of all these guys with the 4.40. The fastest one of all of them. And again, he's a big, it's not like he's this 6'4", 310 guy like Ike Ekwonu. He's one of the bigger offensive tackles, and he went out and posted the best short shuttle, which is, in my opinion, if you go back and study the history of it, and you want a correlation between one drill and success in the NFL, it's that. Anything under 4.62 in that short shuttle is outstanding, and it seems to translate because of the mirror and slide ability you have to have as an offensive tackle. Lucas had an awesome workout, and I agree with you. He's not getting out of the second round, and it might be early in the second round when he comes off the board.
I feel like the forecast on the top 5 picks is still rather cloudy right now, but I think if I were to make a bet at this moment, it would be that an offensive tackle goes number 1 overall. And I think we have to declare, from now on, like any rhetoric about Evan Neal and Ike Ekwonu that separates one from the other is not to suggest, like if you have Ike Ekwonu second, it's not because he's got things that you don't like about him. It's just that you like Evan Neal that much more. You really can't go wrong with either of these players, the top of a very good offensive line class.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.